You spent 40 years showing up for everyone else. So why now, when you finally have time for yourself, do you feel invisible? They told you it's time to rest, but why does the reward feel so much like being forgotten? It's not just the silence in the room, it's the quiet inside of you. The question you never said out loud, is this all there is? But what if this stage of life wasn't the end of something, but the beginning of something deeper? Not what people expect, not what the world says, but what you truly want. But before you decide, this chapter is the end. Let's uncover the truth no one warned you about retirement's hidden cost. Section 1. Maybe retirement isn't what you expected. They told us retirement would be the reward, the freedom we earned, the moment we finally get to live on our own terms. But here's the thing. No one warned us how loud the silence would feel. You wake up before the sun, not because you have to, but because your body's still wired to show up, even when there's nowhere to be. You waited years for this stillness. But now that it's here, it doesn't feel like peace. It feels like being left behind. We know this moment, that quiet ache when the house is still, when the calendar is empty, and you're left asking, what now? But not everyone fades. Some quietly rewire. Alan, 65, retired on paper, but every morning at 5:30 he swims. I thought I was done, he told us, but I needed structure, stillness, meaning, that rhythm. It saved me. Lisa, 61, kept working. Not for the paycheck, she doesn't need it. My job's not stressful, she said, but if it ever touches my peace, I'll walk. I work because I want to, not because I have to. And then there's Martha. She did everything right, downsized, relocated, joined a book club. But 6 months in, she told us something raw. I've never been more rested, and I've never felt more irrelevant. So maybe retirement isn't the prize. Maybe it's the reset. You're not finished. You're not invisible. You're free. Free to decide what this chapter looks like. Free to ask different questions. Free to build something new, something truly yours. And yet, in those quiet, honest moments, some of us still wonder, was this really what we were waiting for? Section 2. The achievement hangover. No one warned us about this kind of silence. After decades of working hard, raising kids, chasing deadlines, you finally retire. And it's quiet, but not the peace you imagined. The kind of quiet that creeps in and makes you whisper, was all of that worth it? A man, 64, once told us, I spent my best years waking at dawn, doing jobs I didn't love just to survive. Now my knees hurt, my energy is gone, and those dreams I once had, they feel like someone else's story. He wasn't bitter, just bone-deep tired. Tired from the hustle, tired from missing the good stuff while chasing security. And now when he finally has time, he's too worn out to enjoy it. That's the achievement hangover. You followed the rules, you checked all the boxes, and somehow you still ended up wondering, where did my life go? But even in that moment of regret, he smiled. I'm glad I traveled in my 20s. My brother and I camped through national parks. We didn't have much, but those memories, I'll carry them to my grave. That one choice, to live before life got too heavy, still lights something inside him. And he's not alone. A woman, 65, now lives in a camper van, moving state to state. I don't know how many years I've got left, she told us, but this time, I'm living for me. So maybe retirement isn't the finish line. Maybe it's a second invitation. To slow down, yes, but not stop. To live simpler, but no less true. Because if you're still breathing, you're still becoming. But now comes the real question. If you're no longer defined by your job, by what others expect from you, then who are you? Let's go there, because buried beneath the grind, you didn't just lose time. You lost you. Stay with timeless wisdom. Because next, we're going back to find the part of you that was never supposed to disappear. Section 3. Rediscovering the forgotten you. You've carried many titles in this life. Parent, provider, protector, the steady one, the strong one. But now, with no meetings to run, no alarms to chase, you finally have space to ask, what did I love before I became so responsible? Before the mortgage, before the shoulds, before life told you to choose practical. Retirement isn't just slowing down, it's an open space to rediscover what still lives in you. Elaine found her old watercolors again. Sam, 68, started writing songs he never dared to share. And Robert, he used to teach swing every Friday night, but hadn't danced in 30 years. Now, in this soft silence, those forgotten parts, they start to whisper again. But this chapter isn't just about hobbies. It's about reclaiming identity, because when we spend decades chasing success, approval, or survival, we don't just lose time, we lose track of ourselves. So here's a gentle practice. Pause. Notice where your thoughts go most often. Then ask, is this still what I want, or just what I got used to? When you keep performing for applause, you burn through your blessings. But when you follow what feels honest, you stay grounded in who you are. You don't have to prove anything anymore. You just have to listen to what still feels alive inside. Because retirement isn't surrender. It's a re-entry to life, with fewer rules and far more clarity. So go back. Find that dream you buried beneath the busy. It doesn't need to be grand. It just needs to be real. And when you hear it, even if it's just a whisper, follow it. You're still here. And that part of you, it never left. It just needed your permission to come home. Don't go far, because in what comes next, you may finally hear the part of yourself that's been quiet for far too long. Section 4. The loudness of quiet. There's a kind of silence that doesn't feel peaceful. It feels like something's missing, but you're not sure what. Silence wasn't always this loud, was it? It used to be rare. A quiet afternoon, a warm cup of tea, a chance to rest. But now silence stretches out, empty rooms, quiet phones, long, slow mornings. And somewhere in that stillness, a question begins to form. What's left of me when no one needs me? But what if silence isn't emptiness? What if it's an invitation? Try this. Sit with yourself. Just you, a chair, a mirror, 10 minutes, maybe 30, no distractions. And look, not at your hair, not at your wrinkles. Look at the person you've become. When was the last time you looked at yourself not to judge, but to truly see? To say, I'm still here, and that matters. Because here's something few talk about. You can't pour love into others when your own cup is empty. And the energy to love, to give, to connect, it begins with grace. Grace for yourself. We often think we're missing something, more joy, more connection, more meaning. But what if that feeling of not enough is not a void, but a doorway? Here's a quiet truth. Whatever you feel you lack, offer it. Feel unseen? Truly see someone else. Feel unappreciated? Offer a kind word. Feel unloved? Give a little love. Not because the world will always give back, but because you are discovering your power to give. And in that giving, you become whole again. As your heart softens, your mind quiets. You start imagining differently, not with fear, not with regret, but with a quiet hope. A life that's slower but deeper, softer but more real. Happiness isn't a constant. It's a state of energy. It rises, it fades, it returns. But when you give from it, gently, generously, it grows, like ripples in a still lake. If you want to protect those ripples, start here. Let go of blame. Loosen your pride. Soothe your anger. Soften your judgments. Then nourish your spirit with small, steady offerings. A smile, a kind glance, a word of thanks, a helping hand, a space for someone else to simply be, and your own quiet, healing presence. Because silence doesn't mean your story is over. It means the next chapter is ready to begin. And maybe, just maybe, this is the one where you finally hear your own soul speaking clearly. Stay with timeless wisdom, because in the next part, we'll rediscover the kind of joy that doesn't need to be loud to be life-changing. Section 5. The 6 human needs of love and connection, based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Abraham Maslow once said, "What is necessary to change a person is to change their awareness of themselves." His famous hierarchy of needs shows us something timeless. Before we can become whole, we must first feel safe, seen, and connected. Let's explore these needs, not as abstract theory, but as real moments in our lives. 1. Physiological needs, the need to survive: food, shelter, sleep, comfort. Without these, nothing else matters. When we were younger, many of us lived paycheck to paycheck, working lousy jobs just to keep the lights on. A man once said, "I spent my best years in stress just to survive, but now I want to learn how to live." It starts with respecting your own body. Have you eaten with care, slept well, breathed deeply? Safety needs, the need for stability. Security is more than a roof. It's the feeling of being protected, financially, emotionally, physically. One woman shared, "My husband doesn't realize if I don't feel safe emotionally, I start to feel alone, and that's when I drift." Real commitment is when someone offers not just love, but calm. 3. Love and belonging, the need for connection. Humans need to feel part of something, but remember, control, connection. One woman shared how her husband never let her go out with friends alone. He thought it was love, but to me it felt like prison. So she left. Love that restricts is not love, it's fear, and fear pushes people away. 4. Esteem, the need to be valued. This goes beyond compliments. It's the need to feel seen. One man invited a friend over, but only talked about himself. The friend never returned. People stay where they feel useful. Even small acts, offering tea, asking advice, can make someone feel they matter. 5. Self-actualization, the need to express ourselves. This is the need to be you, fully. Darlene, 70, had lived her life by the book. Church, polite smiles, modest clothes, but one morning she looked in the mirror and asked, "Whose approval am I chasing?" That week, she dyed her daughter, called it cute. Her neighbor raised a brow. But Darlene, she smiled every time she passed a mirror. Why? Because for once, she felt honest. 6. Self-transcendence, the need. This is the highest level. It's when we stop asking, "What can I get?" and start asking, "What can I give?" At 62, I left my 250-calorie job. Now I teach barefoot in Cambodia. I've never been richer. When your soul is full, you want to serve. This is where peace lives, not in more possessions, but in poo. So where are you on this journey? Start small. Check in. Am I safe? Am I seen? Because as Maslow taught us, we don't ding-link. We rise by becoming aware of what we truly need and learning to give that first to ourselves. Which need are you prioritizing most in your life right now? Share in the comments, because your voice might be the one someone else needs to feel a little less alone on their journey. Section 6. Living on your own terms and living legacy retirement isn't merely about stepping away from work. It's about stepping into a life crafted by your own design. It's the chapter where you get to ask, what brings me joy now? Consider Elaine, who after retiring, picked up a paintbrush for the first time. She wasn't aiming to become a renowned artist. She simply wanted to explore a passion she'd set aside for years. Or think about the man who left his corporate job to teach children in Cambodia, finding fulfillment in the smiles of his students. These stories illustrate a powerful truth. Retirement offers the freedom to rediscover yourself, to pursue passions without the constraints of a 9-to-5 schedule. But embracing this freedom requires intentionality. It's about making choices that align with your values and desires, even if they deviate from societal expectations. As you navigate this newfound freedom, consider the legacy you're creating, not just the one you'll leave behind, but the one you're living each day. Legacy isn't solely about financial inheritance. It's about the impact you have on others, the values you embody, and the memories you create. It's in the wisdom you share, the kindness you extend, and the example you set for future generations. To live your legacy, reflect on your values. Identify what's truly important to you. Engage in meaningful activities. Whether it's volunteering, mentoring, or pursuing a passion project, invest your time in endeavors that resonate with your values. Share your story. Your experiences hold lessons that can inspire and guide others. Don't hesitate to share them. Crafting a meaningful spending plan. Now let's translate these reflections into actionable steps. Creating a spending plan that aligns with your values ensures that your resources support the life you envision. 1. Identify your priorities. List the activities and goals that bring you fulfillment. This could include traveling to new places, pursuing hobbies or learning new skills, spending quality time with family and friends, contributing to causes you care about. 2. Assess your financial resources. Understand your income streams, such as Social Security benefits, pension plans, retirement savings accounts, other investments. 3. Allocate funds accordingly. Create a budget that reflects your priorities. Essential expenses, housing, healthcare, utilities, groceries, discretionary spending, travel, hobbies, dining out. Savings and emergency fund. Ensure you have a cushion for unexpected expenses. 4. Monitor and adjust regularly. Review your spending plan to ensure it continues to align with your evolving goals and circumstances. Remember, retirement is not the end of the road. It's a new beginning. By living intentionally and aligning your resources with your values, you create a life that's not only fulfilling for you, but also leaves a lasting impact on those around you. If you're still watching, it means something inside you is ready. Ready to live more honestly, more gently, more you. This video isn't just a message, it's an invitation. To begin, take a moment. Write down 3 things you truly want to do in the years ahead. Not the big flashy goals, just the ones that make your heart feel alive. Then pick one. Start small. Make a plan, because freedom doesn't come from dreaming, it comes from doing. If you saw yourself in any part of this video, comment, "That's me." Let us know you're here. Let others know they're not alone. And if there's one thing you've always wanted to do, share it below. We'll help each other take that first step. From all of us at Timeless Wisdom, thank you. Thank you for giving us your time, your most valuable gift. Every like, comment, and subscription gives us the energy to keep making videos like this. Gentle, honest, and full of heart. Stay with Timeless Wisdom because your journey is far from over, and the next story might just be yours.